Hi, welcome to the video. What's up, YouTubes? Just to say that I apologise for the sound quality on some of this video. It was all filmed on my lovely old iPhone, which is increasingly steam driven these days, and so the sound's not that great, but the video gives you a wee insight into the insanity that is our fairly regular trip down to the south of France in a Citroen van. Enjoy! Just 2 weeks before we go to France, and we're sitting here, we've been here all morning, looking at information on the internet, trying to work out what we need to do to actually go to France, and it's a complete nightmare. I've got so many screens open that I don't know what to do. I've gone blind. I don't know what I'm supposed to do anymore. So we're trying to book a test to go, and then we have to book tests to come home, and we're going to make sure that the right sort of test and that it's got the right information on it, and the test results to go out have to be no more than 24 hours before we cross over, but coming back we can have 72 hours, I think. Maybe when we're in France before we come back we have to book it, or maybe we can just turn up and get it done. Somebody's told us, I'm not sure. So it's actually, it's almost like it's deliberately confusing so that you don't go. Don't know. Anyway, we'll see if we can get this test booked, and then see if we can get to France. It's the day before we head on our epic 1,000-mile journey through Scotland, England and France. And I'm just checking the van, just check the tyre pressures and stuff. It got serviced last week, so it should all be fine, right? You're right, you hope. But what we've also got to do now is the weekend we packed the van mostly ready to go, because we're going to take some furniture with us to the house in France, which you would think would be okay, but now I'm going to have to take some of it out because of Brexit. We will now have to pay import tax, it seems, on some of this old furniture that we're taking with us. I mean, it's old furniture from our house. We've not bought it specially. We're not trying to dodge anything. We were just going to take it down. But it seems that if we can't prove that it's not worth less than a certain amount of money, we'll be charged VAT on it. And depending on how much they want to charge, and it's like 20%. So depending on how much they think it's worth, and we're going to have to argue the toss with them about this, because we don't have receipts or any of that rubbish. I mean, it's old furniture. It's, you know, it's old. We're going to have to pay 20% of whatever they decide it's worth, over I think an amount of €350. So we're going to take some of it out and leave it here because it's just junk, and there's no point in fighting over it. We're still going to try and take some of it, see what we can do, see if we can avoid paying any VAT on it, because that's just crazy. But that's what we're doing now. It's not very much, but it's just a pain, you know. So that's my next job. Brilliant. Now we're all set to go. It's Saturday. It's lunchtime. A little bit later than I'd hoped, but I think we're still kind of on target, so that's good. And everything's in the van now apart from people and dogs, and we'll get on the road. I mean, we had to go down, like I said, over to Edinburgh. That took a bit of time, but we've had the results back from that, so that's all good. It's come back negative, so we're allowed to proceed. So the next hurdle is to get to Folkestone in time, and then to convince them that we're allowed over the border, whatever's required, whether we've got the right paperwork, whether I don't know what, we've got the wrong things with us, I don't know. We'll find out all of Voyage of Discovery. Brilliant. Talking of which,
shall I let them in the garden?
there they are. Got to get them in the van. Yay!
Yay!
So we're just leaving sunny Scotland. Beautiful. first border crossing of the day, the trip. Sunny Scotland into England.
Here's Scotland. Don't need to see the other one.
Yay! It's officially raining.
It really is. Let's hope it's not like this in France.
First pit stop in Wetherby. And it's raining. Quite the thing. So there's a guy having a pee in the bushes over there. So gonna get the doggies out, get them done, and I'll go and get myself a drink, I guess, and then we'll be back on the road again. So here they are. Here's the doggies. Hello doggies. Hello. We're back in the van.
Yay!
It stopped raining. We have coffees. We have Greg's.
Despite me making food.
We're heading off. So, next stop,
Well,
Folkestone,
there she is.
maybe?
There she is.
Okay, bye.
Bye. No? Oh, that was good. Still in England.
Dark crossing.
You think you're still here? I was taking control. She thinks she's superior.
Teenagers, isn't it? They know about technology and stuff.
Yeah. Makes it look quite nice actually.
There's the River Dart.
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 Dart. Do you want me to keep filming or still? Do you want to just keep filming?
Well, let's get some of the towers and stuff.
Special guest, the blue car in front of us.
There's the river. There's that London town over there.
Let me get a picture of her.
Is that there, London?
Oh, it's nice, babe. Oh, she's doing weird things. Check that out.
No, because that will crash.
No, I don't want. Do you want anything of London town?
Yeah, get some London going on with the sun going down.
Oh, what for the sun? Why not? Makes me think of flakes. Are you liking my filming now? That is good. Makes me think of flakes and girls in whisper dresses. 70s with flares.
Yeah. Flake adverts were always a little bit raunchy, weren't they?
A little bit. For the day. Nowadays, nobody would care.
Only the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate
If you don't overdub this
tastes like
or something else,
tasted.
it gives an insight as to what our trips are like.
No, this is just everyday life. This is not special for the trip. This is just our family. I'm on the road to heaven. I'm on the road. That looks a bit special.
Yeah.
Channel Tunnel.
That was it. Whoa. Yes.
And now I'm going to
Maybe don't film all this, and then when we get into where the gantries are and everything,
I'll
it's
come
like
up to the corner when we turn. And I'll kind of
too much reach out.
the camera because that looks cool.
Problem is, it's like miles away.
That's cool. When you watch it back.
What, the lights?
Yeah, turning the camera with it. It's more
Okay.
dynamic. Rather than moving in a straight line. It's more like you're actually turning. See, I'm smart. I know stuff.
Why did that say Cherison Channel Tunnel a mile ahead? Is that like on that road?
It's the service access entrance. Remember when we used to stay in Cheriton?
I do,
We used to
yeah.
come in round the back. You can't
Yeah.
do that now.
Oh right.
You've not been able to do that for a few years. You've got to come all the way
it says like an old something or other.
There's an old busted car.
I'm like, what's his name on cars? The old trainer guy. My throat's feeling quite gruff.
I don't know why do you switch between it? It's like, you know, going on a steady thing, then it kind of drops, and then it goes on a steady thing, and then it drops, and then it goes on a steady thing again, and it drops, you know?
What are you on about?
Gears.
Oh.
That's what the gears do. I need to get the stuff out.
It's so busy. There's only 2 gates open. Oh no, there's loads. But I need to get one that's on Mummy's side.
Why?
Because
Why?
that's Flexi Plus. Right, I have to go to me then.
Right, so you want,
There's a dude. Right, you better not video the dude, boo.
oh. You're going?
Right, you can't video in passport control. They get really
Yeah.
touchy about that. Come on, dude, go faster.
There's not a bienvenue sign anymore.
No, don't love us.
They don't want us here. Oh, they probably never
Get out, Brits.
Oh, no.
Primark.
What?
Yay!
What?
Where's he going? He's going to Primark. Going shopping. There it is. Bienvenue en France. Good in here to put my headlamp defenders on.
Go away.
We've made it across. We got into France and nobody cared. After all the worry of filling in forms and making sure they were right and making sure we didn't have any illicit contraband and running for tests and all that kind of stuff, we handed over our paperwork and he just waved us through. It was all absolutely fine. So we're in France and we now have another 10 hours of driving ahead of us. We'll probably stop at some point. I'm not going to be driving for 10 hours, but we're going to try and get past Paris now by 11 o'clock at night, half 11, something like that. We're going to try and get past Paris and then we'll maybe find somewhere to stop and have a kip and we'll carry on when the sun comes up. Happy day! Woo! France, baby! Good morning. It is Sunday morning and we've just woken up and set off on the road again. We've had a couple of hours in one of the motorway rest stops here en France. Lovely day, windmills, fields, and I think we're something like, I don't know, 4 hours away from our destination. So, on we go.
And there's where we slept. All of the doggies moved. It was very exciting.
So we're like about, what are we, 3 hours now from the house.
Yeah.
And this is the reality of van life on the road. We've stopped in this like totally insane motorway service station, absolutely rammed with people, trucks, eating bread out of the packet because France, why not? So yeah, I think this might be, we just filled up with diesel, might be our last stop before we get to the house. We'll see how we get on. Plenty more miles still to go though. This dude, I'm gonna get in the teeny lane. Crisscrossing over each other as usual. Stretch of peage to take us to Caen.
Think this is hideously done in about 900 kilometres. We're off the autoroute and now we're on diddly roads all the way to the house. And in that last video, I showed a car on fire. I stopped filming before we saw the people. They were fine. They got out with all their stuff and we're about, I don't know how many yards, feet, meters down the road.
Loose.
This is one of our favourite little places. No, certainly one of my favourite little places.
Oh, look, the pizza place is open. It's never open.
It's open.
There's a dog in the doorway.
There's the top. The laundry's not open, is it?
No.
I don't see it somewhere. That's what we get usually. Sourdough tastes like sourdough. We're going to the mad corner.
Hang on. Oh, it's up in all the lanes.
I turned the camera the wrong way. I thought we were going the other way.
That was Kayla's.
That was Kayla's. Now we'll go back down the other side.
On the last approach
Yeah.
to the house, up the hill.
Oh wow, that's really. Sorry, just had to take some photos.
It doesn't really, you can't really tell how steep it is, can you?
No, you can't. My voice is going again.
Switchback.
Very steep.
Switchback Sunday.
I'm moving the camera as well to try and fit it. So give us a push.
Oh, they've got a new fence. There's someone in.
Belgies.
Yeah.
That's not the
That's
normal family.
different Belgians. Oh, there's stocks are in.
Just taking trees.
There's Sulafo's barn.
There's the sweetheart.
Someone's been digging up the road. What's
Yeah.
been going on here?
Ah. I was unaware of this. Ah, and here we are.
Home again. Jiggity jig.
Woo!
Oh my goodness, look how long the grass is.
Ah,
Yes.
yay!
And we made it. 1,000 miles door to door, 24 hours. We did stop for 3 hours, I think, just outside Orléans, and tried to have a bit of a snooze. This pair of idiotic dogs didn't make it too easy, but we're here. We made it safely. So now it's time. I think I'm hearing noises. I think it might be thunder, but it's time now for me to get up there on that balcony and enjoy a light refreshment. Time up. We're getting ready to leave, getting the van all packed and getting ready to go. It's been great. Weather's been great. Look at this. I think other people that have stayed this summer haven't had the weather quite as good, but we've had fantastic weather. So we're ready to go. I was a little bit touch and go. I had to get more tests done yesterday. All three of us had to get tests done to prove that we don't have COVID and we're allowed back into the UK, which was interesting. It was all fine, just things up the nose. But the problem was waiting for the certificates to come through. I thought I was being clever by putting all three of us with my email address, but then of course they stick them on an online system, which then tells me that I've got a problem because I've already got an account when a new one comes through, and so I had to work out a way of linking the 3 accounts, which my French kind of struggled with, but we got there in the end. They all came through, so we're all good to go. We've done our passenger locator forms, so that's all done, and I think we're set. We just need to pack up the van and get going. Sad to go though. Beautiful day again. Back to sunny Scotland. Weirdly, we were thinking about it this morning, and the amount of money we've spent on testing is insane for ourselves and the dogs. I mean, for 3 tests here so we can get home, and then when we get home on day 2 we've got to all do another test, and for Isla's test before we came out, that's been, I don't know, that's like 500 quid, and then just a bit less than £500, but thereabouts. And then the dogs had to have their fit for travel form done before we came out. It was £150 each, so we spent about 800 quid on tests just to come out and go home again. It seems a bit mad. Some of that's to do with COVID, some of it's to do with Brexit. A lot more difficult than last time we came out, which was a while ago now because of COVID, but yeah, it's cost a lot of money. We managed to sort the dogs out. They've now got French passports. It only cost €12 each instead of having to pay £150 each to get a certificate every time we come out. So hopefully that'll save us some money next time, but I'm hoping this COVID situation sorts itself out so that we can we don't have to pay 500 quid a time for tests every time we want to go backwards and forwards. We'll see. It's 1:30 in the morning. We're in the queue at the tunnel, waiting to get on the train. It's actually taken us, how long has that taken us now? An hour. An hour and a half to get from pet check-in to here without actually stopping and getting out of the van. We're just going through the various check-ins, and it seems some other people maybe didn't have all the paperwork that was required.
The bottom line is Brexit sucks.
And COVID.
Yeah, but mostly Brexit.
So.
COVID's just expensive.
Yes, it is. So hopefully we'll be on the train soon, which is, we're going to get through all of that. And so to round it off, as you can see, we didn't really film a lot on the way home because we just didn't. I don't know really why. It was a straight shot up through France. Traffic wasn't too bad, road was fine as usual. Getting around Paris was as entertaining as always. And then straight up to Calais, onto the train, getting through, as that little snippet tells you, getting through Calais was interesting. It was just a little bit fraught. Not so much for us, but it was really busy, and I did see a few people getting turned back because there must have been some paperwork irregularities. But we got through fine. The one French policeman that was on and as the border control asked me how many migrants I had in the back of the van. I told him just 2 dogs. He could hear them, so nobody was interested in what was in the back of the van this time around. I mean, not that there was anything to see, it just would have been a pain having to open up and show that there was nothing to see. And then straight through Britain. We never stop a lot in Britain. You have to pay to sleep in your car at the motorway services in Britain. It's not set up the same as it is in Europe, where you can just stop and basically camp out for as long as you like. So that was it. 2,200 or so miles altogether. Reasonably stress-free, kind of noisy in the van, not as fast as it could be because the van doesn't really like going very fast. And here we are, back home again. It's been a couple of weeks, a week or so now. Weather's been on and off. Do we miss it? Yeah, we do. We'll be back as soon as we can. Thanks for watching. And if you've made it this far, well done. And maybe I'll reward you with another ridiculous video. Bye.